Welcome back to Booze Briefs. I'm Matt.
I'm Derek. Today we've got in front of us a delicious Highland Scotch Whisky. This is the Tomatin 12-year. They call themselves the softer side of the Highlands, and I don't know how long they've been making delicious whiskeys, but they've been making whiskey since 1897.
That's a really long time.
That is older than us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say
combined even.
Yes. Yes.
So the bottle doesn't really tell you a whole heck of a lot about the whiskey, but I did pull some notes up that this is matured in a combination of bourbon barrels and sherry casks, and I think you'll taste some of that sherry cask behind it a little bit later on. It's described as being smooth and silky. It's ex-bourbon, ex-Spanish sherry casks. A rich, fruity aroma is the prelude to sweet flavors of ripe apples, pears. I'm sorry, this says a subtle hint of nut.
I don't know about all that.
Right. Not sure we'll get that before a long, pleasantly oily finish.
I don't know. Who writes these?
Someone who hopefully shouldn't. But it is available. It's available from stockists worldwide.
Okay.
Whoever they are. But I don't know.
Very descriptive writers.
Yeah. How about we just drink this and see what we think?
Yes.
That's a nice sound.
Man, beautiful.
For you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. So, Derek, when you are drinking a new bourbon or whiskey, what are you looking for? What in that smell is it first? You're looking at the color. What is it?
The color is the first thing, especially when you have a clear bottle like this. You can see right through it.
True.
But as soon as you pour it, there are some, and I think it's usually going to be the ABV that dictates it.
Right.
But sometimes it'll just jump out at you with a lot of heat.
Gotcha.
And that's not something that I'm hoping for, but I realize too that the longer a bottle's been open, some of that's going to go away. This one is bottled at 43%. A little bit hard to read because they've chosen to do a light, like reflective gold printing on green background.
Hey, they like green.
Yeah.
They like whiskey.
Okay.
So we like them.
Yeah, we do.
Let's take a sip.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
all of the characteristics that you expect in a scotch.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that, it coats the tongue, it coats the mouth. It's got a good amount of heat on it.
Yeah.
I like that. It's something where, what I look for is something that you're drinking it. It's not just there. Right? I want to be able to feel it as much as taste it and smell it.
I feel like that's one of the big things that as I've been drinking more whiskeys, I've become a little more attuned to looking for the ABV, and things that are bottled at 40%, I feel like they're just being diluted for mass market. There's a time and place for mass market things, but I found that extra 3% just going from 40 to 43 often makes a big difference in how rich and full a whiskey's going to be.
I agree. I think, you get those low ABV bourbons or whiskeys, and it almost feels like it's already passed. Mm-hmm. It's already on its way out. But you get something that's got a little bit more oomph behind it. I feel like the staying power is much, much better, and I feel like I can keep it on my shelf a little bit longer, where something that is that lower, like you said, 40 or below, or right at, I don't want to keep it long. You want to drink that quicker. Those are the ones you want your buddies to come over and let's drink this tonight.
Yes.
So yes, I like this a lot. This is good.
Yeah, and when you said that classic Scotch whiskey, I know a lot of people tend to think of peat and smoke, even though that's probably not most Scotches, but those are
the worst things ever.
We may drink some later, I don't know, but the Ardbegs, the Lagavulins, they're not my speed, they're not your speed. This is what I'm looking for. It is that it's a lighter, fruitier, but still rounded and has some depth to it. I'm not the kind of guy who can pick out all the flavors. I love watching Ralphie's videos. He can dissect a whiskey far better than I can.
And we don't want to do that here,
No.
We want to talk about...
I'm not trying to BS everybody.
No, because you don't care.
Right.
You don't care, because you're going to taste something completely different than I do. And that's the beauty of, the channel that we're doing. What I taste is not going to be what you taste.
No.
You may think that, but we're told I've done wine tastings, I've done whiskey tastings. There is no wrong answer.
Well,
If you say Kool-Aid, then yes,
I would
that
say-
is the wrong answer.
I would say there's no right answer. There are lots of wrong answers.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm getting mint chocolate chip ice cream and overcooked sirloin. Those are wrong answers.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this is a 12-year Scotch. The first one I had from Tomatin was the 18, and I really enjoyed that. But when I saw this on the shelf, we're in North Carolina, so we have state-run liquor stores. Hooray. But this is on the shelf for just $40. And I thought for a 12-year, it's certainly worth gambling on the $40.
$40?
Yeah.
That's a steal for $40.
Yeah. I like this one a lot. I would probably go back and get the 18. I think that's around 70-ish, which is still a darn good deal, in my opinion, for 18. I forget if North Carolina has them, but Tomatin also makes a 30 and a 36.
What?
I would love to try those, but I imagine that's going to be a lot of oak or a lot of sherry taste in that. And you're not always going to get some of these lighter appley pear tastes.
No. And I also don't want to pay for that. Those sound expensive.
I would imagine those, at least the 36, that's got to have a comma in it, right?
You won't find that in your budget book of what you want to drink.
No, but for this one, for $40, I would say it's a great value. I would buy it again, and it's one that I would keep on my shelf. Matt mentioned having things that you want to share with buddies. Whiskey should be enjoyed.
Yes.
Don't keep it on your shelf if you're not going to drink it. And at the combination of the taste and the price on this, I would say absolutely keep it around. Matt, you had to give this a score out of 100. And keep in mind these things, like 100 that is at this, it's in its weight class, so to speak. Like we're comparing.
Yes. I would say I would give this a strong 89.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think for the money, it drinks right around there, you know. Could it be... I don't know. I like it. I think after it sits for a week or so, or 2 weeks or a month, that score could definitely change. But I think that's a good starting point. You know, it's not the absolute best you could get for $40. It's by far not the worst.
No.
And I think it drinks to the price and, you know, what they describe it as. That's what it is. And I enjoy it. And that's really all that matters, is that I enjoy it and you enjoy it.
Yep. I think if you have $40 and you want to buy a bottle of not peaty style Scotch, it's hard to beat this. I'd say 89, maybe even 90 points, because I've had, this bottle's lived at my house. I've had a few glasses of it now, and I've seen how much better this gets with a little bit of air on it. So if we came back to these glasses in 10 or 15 minutes, assuming there still is whiskey in them, I think we'd find it's even more enjoyable than it is right now.
So, question for you. Would you decant this?
I don't like to decant things because then I have to keep track of what's in each decanter. I'm spending more money on decanters and labeling. And
fancy man with multiple decanters.
No. I'm saying that's why I don't decant.
Okay.
You notice I've brought this in its bottle. The bottles back here are in their native packaging. So
that is true.
No, I'm not a man who likes to have many decanters around.
Well, you know, it's a question.
Yeah. All right.
Well, all right.
If you like the video, subscribe, hit the notifications if you want to see every time we have a new video. We hope to get one up about every week. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Internets.
All those places. We're just at Booze Briefs, and we're at boozebriefs.com, BOOZE briefs.com. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.